Okay, we're live. Welcome everyone to the Clutch Kick. First episode of 2020.
Yeah, Jesus, this is start of a potentially third year.
Potentially, yeah,
Depends how lazy we get this year.
yeah. I know. Far out. It's like I'm doing my calendar for the year, and it looks like it's going to be busy, just with my plans and everyone else's events that they've got in order.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot. Basically, if you want to drive Marulan at the moment, Pheasantwood Circuit, you can pretty much do that.
Most weekends,
Yeah, pretty much every weekend.
at least every second weekend. It seems
Well,
like.
it seems like every second weekend's got an organised drift event, and then you can go down there and drive random days, and it looks like Pistol Pete's been exploiting that one.
Yeah, he went through like how many tires did he go through?
I don't know,
Something
but
incredible amount of tires.
but I think he's gone and hit up a couple uh, of those just open days. So it looks like they're potentially a goer as well. So you just end up driving on your own. But yeah,
Yeah, it's a little bit boring sometimes. Sometimes. Other
yeah,
times
so
you got things to practice.
yeah, and I think just try and get some tandems and stuff going. Probably better utilized time, but that's sort of each their own. Uh, but yeah, I think this weekend first event of the year, official, organized event of the year. That isn't, a figure eight or something like that at uh, Spawn the Drift 5 Australia Day weekend. So I've decided to do that. Was going to do a last minute entry to South Circuit on Saturday night, but that got shit canned the night before because of weather, and I would imagine that's Sydney Motorsport Park's doing because same organisation and same thing a couple of years ago. So but I would imagine that they sort of see a bit of wetness on their grass and they're just like, well, we don't want people tearing this shit up, so we're going to cancel it the day before.
Yeah, sucks if anyone had to travel to get there to enter.
Yeah, do you suspect the same thing?
No.
Really? No, I don't think it would be. I don't think it would be Hi-Tech pulling their officials out, having to be out in the rain. I'm pretty sure it would be City Motorsport Park saying, because if the organizer pulls out, I know at City Motorsport Park, if the organizer pulls out and you've got to be at least a month cancellation and you still get hit with like a 50% fee or something, if you pull out that the night before, they would be charging them full price. So
Yeah.
I would imagine at this stage that it was Sydney Motorsport Parks doing, because most organisations would just run it anyway because
Yeah, at a loss.
they're already paying the money anyway. So the money's going out. So and then the weather didn't end up that bad up here anyway.
Yeah, it didn't seem like it.
Nah. So yeah, a bit disappointed on that one, but would have barely gone through any tires too. I think, yeah, I was pretty good on tires on that track for the New Year's event. So
Oh, that's right. How was that?
New Year's event at Sydney Motorsport Park.
Did you do a pit report, a pit review like you normally do?
No. Car worked all the time. No, it was good. I thought North Circuit was going to be a bit more exhilarating, but I don't know if it's because my car's like heavy and slow and it takes time to get speed, so you don't get like panicked at speed. It sort of all feels super calm. But yeah, on average, I was doing 140 plus entries everywhere on that track, and I think because there's just so much runoff room. Like if you hit shit on that track, you're fucked up big time.
Yeah,
Like
it looks like it.
Like there's just nothing to hit. Even through the link road, there's really nothing to.
The link road looks the most dangerous with that bit of concrete on the edge.
Yeah, it's a bit sketchy, but I also think
you're going you're going on a different angle. Like if you were going the right way, you wouldn't get close to it.
Yeah, and it depends on what sort of crazy crap you do coming out of turn 2. Like a lot of the time, like unless I hit everything perfect, I wasn't, holding a full skid through turn 2 for my car was difficult. So then I'd just grip up and get a bunch of speed, get back up into 4th, and then throw it down the hill in one big flick, where other guys were sort of doing a double mungie kind of thing down the hill. So just to keep the skid going the whole way, and I think that probably works out a little bit safer in some ways, but it also
Slower.
yeah, and then I was could use that to slingshot into the competition section of North Circuit. So
Yeah, I watched your video. You were pedaling. It looked cool. It looked really
yeah,
fun.
yeah. I only managed to get a clear run through there probably like maybe 10 to 12 times, like with a proper clear track. And there was this one lady who was marshalling that was sort of directly down the track as soon as you came through a link road and you look straight ahead. She was in a bright pink shirt, and all I did, and she was like sort of behind like the 50-meter sign or something from my vision, and I sort of just lined her up and just kept grabbing gears and accelerating as hard and as fast as I could possibly at her. And then once the track edge was coming up fast, that's when I just turned it in and clutch kicked it and hoped it would make it around the corner. And she made that comment the next day, being like she was just waiting for me to plow the fence in front of her. So didn't happen. So yeah, I don't know. It was. I think by the end of the day, when I had messaged you guys being like, "Oh, this is kind of boring," I think I hadn't given myself enough time with it, and then I sort of just stuck with it and just kept trying to go faster and faster on each section, and yeah, it was good. It was funny, the flaggies on turn 2. We weren't supposed to go that fast down the front straight, but I think I was going, a bit over 100 down the front straight, and then as I came through turn 1, to start to build speed again, and the guys in the tower at turn 2 would sort of hang over the edge, and when you're only expecting yellow flags and stuff like that, the yellow flag just means somebody's totally fucked up in front of you. But then there was slow cars and stuff like that, and those guys started working out that I was going in hard and fast every time I'd come into there, and started just leaning over and giving me a shackers or something if they knew that the track was complete. if the track was completely clear, and if there was a car that was just like cruising around that corner, they wouldn't yellow flag it, but they'd stick their hand out to tell me to slow down and stuff like that. So
that's cool.
Which was really good. It meant that you could go in with confidence, knowing if there was a car just around that corner, because it's on entry, it's not so bad. You can see them, but if you just after they get around sort of the middle of the corner, you're completely blind to them, because it's the uphill plus the concrete wall in the way.
Yeah. Okay.
So no, but that was good. That was a good section of track to hit it. Yeah, I think trying to do probably 140 plus each time. So
yeah,
I think
cool.
I think my fastest through there probably about 100, 140, 145 to 150, and then I think my fastest into the North Comp section was about 160.
Yeah, I don't even know how fast normal.
Well, I remember
going into there.
Remember when Drift Australia was there and they had the speed gun going.
Yeah, but
yeah, I know,
pointing in different spots.
Yeah,
but I think
the fastest I ever saw really was about 160 or something like that. So I would imagine probably in the last couple of years it's definitely gotten a little bit faster than that.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
But yeah, for a pretty stock heavy 350 with some basic mods, and the fact that there a couple of times it bounced Limber in 4th before I entered, I was pretty impressed with that. So really expensive event. And then South Circuit, I got in trouble for driving too fast.
Through where?
So you're not supposed to drift down the bottom of the straight, and for mine to get enough speed for it to be a fun entry over the hill, I was trying to drive as quickly as I could through, like the little left, right, left in front of the pit building.
Yep.
And I wasn't getting swirly through there. I was just driving fast. And then once you get onto that, the left-hander going up onto the front straight. I was like already, as I was going along parallel with pit lane, I was already trying to get the foot into it. And then so the arse would want to hang a little bit and just kept wanting to skate out as I was going through the left-hander, and the guy was like, "That's a no drifting zone, blah, blah." He's like, "You're not in control of the car." And I'm like, What do you think I'm doing? Like, what do you think I'm doing on the other side of the fucking hill? Like I'm talking like the car's like barely skating. Like if I like I'm on the throttle. Like if I get on the throttle, it kicks out, and if I get off it, it straightens up again. Like it's like I'm balancing the car at that point, and then he's sort of like, yeah, you're supposed to be in control. If a car comes out of the pit lane, blah blah blah. It's like I'm fucking facing the pit, like the pit exit. Like, but I think I might have got in trouble because um my mechanic mate was having car troubles and he was ahead of me on one run, and I was trying to give him enough lead, but he was chasing a misfire, and eventually I just got the shits and was able to catch him, and I just blew past him just as I clutch kicked over the hill. And they probably didn't like that much, probably not knowing that I know him, but yeah, that might have been what got me in trouble. But
Yeah, whatever.
yeah, whatever. That's the only fun part of that track. So
Yeah, up over the crest, full speed.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think I was doing 140 plus, but I don't. Other than that event, I don't think any of the other South Circuit events in the next 12 months you'll be able to do speeds up near that really.
No,
So
I doubt it. Well, the last, besides that one, the last two events, they pretty much started you on the crest. So
yeah, and that was almost where I was initiating from. So
yeah, yeah.
so,
Oh,
but yeah,
sounds
overall,
cool.
look, honestly, overall, really good event. Expensive, but heaps of track time.
It
Temperature wasn't.
that much, was it? It's over 2
Yeah,
days.
$750 or something.
Yeah, you get 4 tracks, don't you? Or 2 tracks and
Yeah, if you want to go do that
two.
other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, not terrible. And for my car, I think I went through a tank of petrol plus 80 liters,
How many laps did you
something.
get in?
Hundreds. I fucking shit you not. It would have been hundreds.
No problems, no
Nah,
downtime, just lap
nah.
after lap.
Laugh after lap. I think I
Doesn't
went
sound
through.
like you.
I think 4 pairs of tires. Like I went in to like have a break. I think the last session I did on South on the second day, I think I was on track for about an hour and 40 minutes continuous.
Don't you get
Just
tired?
just cutting lap. No, man, I don't know. I go into this stupid zone, and I'm just like cutting laps, and then it's just like, oh, still working, and then once you feel the tires start to go at that stage, I was like, yeah, I think I've had enough. So
Quick break and back on track.
nah, that was the end. That was the end of the day for me at that stage. I was like, yeah,
Okay.
I think I've had enough.
Yeah, right.
And it was hot that weekend, but yeah, it's kind of nice, especially on North, to be able to, as you hit the front straight, crank on the AC on full blast, and then as you start coming back through turn one, turn the AC off and go again.
All
So-
right. Did it get hot? Hey, did you put the sprayers on before that event? Or was it after?
Nah, we only just did that.
Okay.
So it would have been
Did it
good for that event.
Oh, it's good. It was pretty
I think
freaking hot that time.
Yeah, I think I started hitting temp cut a little bit on the Saturday. I don't remember it doing it on the Sunday. But South, you've got a longer cooldown time, a slower cooldown time, and there's not as many corners. And plus, for most of the hill, I'd enter in fourth, second through the left-hander, through the right-hander, through the left-hander as I transition back to the right, which is normally your sort of finish line. I'd try and upshift to third, and then we're allowed to do the left-hander that goes down the hill.
Oh,
Not
okay.
at the bottom of the hill, at the top of the hill as you go over that left-hander.
Yeah.
And that's a bigger corner, so I'd try and grab third to do that. So it's not as strenuous on the car, but yeah, North trying to like make it work and just being pinned between each corner, didn't love it all that much, but yeah, should all be sorted now. Gave the car a bit of a birthday and have it ready for the next 3 events in the next 4 weeks.
3 events. 1.
Yeah,
2.
I have spawns
yeah.
spawns this weekend, a weekend off, then Revos the following weekend, and then passenger laps at Luddenham the following weekend. So
Yeah, sounds like it's gonna be good. All right,
Yeah.
you're doing a lot of driving now.
yeah, but I'm pretty. People are like, oh, you got so much money, and I'm like, well, I only have to pay 2 entry fees because one event's not costing me anything.
Yeah.
And the reality is, the last 2 times I've been to Pheasantwood, I've used a pair each day. So
Yeah. So it's just
I'll probably
cheap.
use 8. Yeah, I'm probably going to use 8 tires in the next 3 events. So it's not too bad, really. But yeah, gave the car a freshen up, ready for the year. The clutch had been sticking since the Queensland trip, middle of last year, and I thought maybe, considering it was a new clutch for that trip, I thought, oh fuck, I've flogged a new clutch. But the boys told me, no, it's probably just your master cylinder. They pulled the box off because I just wanted them to check everything and make sure everything's good for the year, and it looks like it potentially was just the master. One of the engine mounts was snapped, so new engine mounts, new gearbox mount. Which means hopefully that's more power to the ground now instead of rotating in the engine bay.
Having a bit of waste. Yeah.
So it should make it feel better. And then it was just, the diff needed a bit of a reseal, and the fact that it was a weldy and 12 months in, I thought probably not a bad time to pull it out and just make sure, with weldies occasionally you end up with still bits of slag and all that sort of stuff floating around.
Yeah.
So
And then it fractures as well. And
yeah, so I thought, nah, pull it out, considering it needed to be resealed anyway, pull it out, completely clean it out again, and refill it, and just make sure it's good for the year. So
are you gonna get a LSD for it? We just don't need it.
fuck.
Nah.
I think Luke's only running a shimmy in his, so
Yeah.
the same as just turned into a locker using shims, and
Yeah.
mine's a weldy. So I think if the weldy ever broke, I've got a standard diff there, and I'd probably just shim it up now, knowing that other people have shimmed them up. So nah, proper LSD. I'm not going to spend money on that shit.
That's not like you. That's like you're like new Greg and old Greg.
Nah. Yeah, well, look, I've still got the GTR rear end sitting there.
Yeah, right.
So if another car ever happens, that's ready to go in. But yeah, look, people keep being like, oh, do this to it, do that to it. I'm just like, I took almost 10 kilos out of it. There's still a little bit of weight to come out of it, but there's like a 1 kilo brick of metal sitting in the back hatch to make it easier to close. Like, there's that sort of shit in the car, and I've
for the gas struts to overcome or something.
Yeah, like
okay.
So that came out. Like, I pulled the rear wiper motor and antenna and all that out of it. The speakers, you sort of think, oh, it's got a factory subwoofer, all this sort of shit. Pulled it out. All this effort to bloody get behind the seat to pull it out. It's all fucking plastic. Doesn't weigh anything.
Oh, like that's big setup behind you.
Yeah, like like all the you'd think like a subwoofer would be like a metal casing, all that sort of stuff. Nah, even the door ones are plastic. But when I pulled the bloody door cards off, I didn't realize, and in Silvias and Skylines, the doors are like have all the cutouts and a fairly thin metal and all that sort of shit.
Yeah.
These fucking things have like probably like 3 or 4 mil thick bloody steel, and the whole door is basically, the only hole I remember seeing in the door now is where the speaker went. In the metal,
can't you? You cut out like
all the metal, or just put speed holes all through it.
Yeah.
I probably could. That would probably be the only way to cut weight out of it. Like those doors, I didn't realize. I always thought, oh, it's the motors and all that, and maybe the intrusion bar that's the heavy part. No, the fucking door itself is heavy. Like even if you took the intrusion bar and the window motors out, those doors would probably still be heavy. So I'm probably not going to bother with all that stuff. And just at some stage want to try and get the curtain airbag stuff out, and then I'll replace the passenger seat with something without heated seats and airbags.
It's a luxurious drift car, isn't it?
Yeah, but what do you reckon? That sort of shit's probably like a good 15 or 20 kilos over a normal seat. So
yeah, I don't know. I think all the electric motors and stuff, but the heating I've seen in
it would be fairly light, but it's
it's really light.
But the airbag stuff is really heavy too.
Yeah, it would be. I've only ever pulled out a dash one and a steering wheel airbag, but
Yeah, the dash airbag was massive,
Yeah.
like 5 or 6 kilos on its own,
Yeah,
like
right.
just
That's
like a
even bigger
massive
than
brick. Yeah, it's
bigger than the
huge.
one I pulled out.
Well, it's probably a slightly newer one than the one you
Hmm.
pulled out.
Was that a
So,
Falcon?
maybe not then, but they probably don't mind if Falcon drivers die.
Passengers? Yeah, probably not.
Or yeah, that too. Uh, so yeah, I might do some new coilovers after the next 3 events and put something nicer in it.
Did,
And
did
that,
you? Are those eBay coilovers?
yeah, there's still the
Yeah,
eBay ones.
nice.
Haven't fallen
Okay.
out yet. So, but I think I want to do something nicer and let the car sit a little bit higher. And I think if I do that, then I might have to put some adjustable arms in the front. But then it's pretty much done.
Yeah, it sounds. Man, you got so much driving in. Like the last year, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. The last 9 months, 10 months. So yeah, it's been good. And then I probably need to do a walk around video because I've had a few people who have started buying them and keep hitting me up for the do's and don'ts on, or the musts on some of that stuff. And like mine's a little bit more extreme than what a budget one needs to be. I've used
Man,
some
yours
budget.
sound like a budget one.
Yeah, but then I went and did like stupid stuff like 2 sets of Brembos for the hydro and a
Okay.
standalone ECU and a half cage, and you know my it's got some expensive shit on it that you don't necessarily need to do, but there are definitely some musts that I've found along the way. So
So comeback of the Greg vlogs.
yeah, not really, but I think the little snippet Instagram videos are probably the go. Gained a few followers from that sort of stuff too, so I think it's probably more the go.
I don't
Uh,
even. Am I even following you? I don't even know.
I don't know. You rude cunt.
No, I'm pretty
Uh,
bad. I don't look on Instagram enough. All the other guys, like Paul, have become a lot more active on Instagram. I've seen them name pop up everywhere. So yeah.
yeah, look, I think it really is sort of the best short form platform for getting that stuff out. The YouTube thing, yeah, basically if you're not putting stuff out often enough or all that sort of stuff, it dies fairly quickly. Yeah, then I guess we've got New South Wales. We've got the Keep Reek guys coming up for the event at the end of March. I think I'll probably be out of that one unless I pop down on the Saturday just for either a look-see or a see if I can have a pay an entry and just drive on the Saturday or something like that. But
Yeah, because it's a Friday Saturday event.
yeah, it's a Friday, Saturday, and
So
family commitments the following week, so middle of the following week, so can't afford to take too much time off work, especially if I want to keep driving as much as I have been. And then
I was reading the
yeah,
comments for that event, and it sounds like there's a lot of people from all around keen on that
yeah,
event. Like
yeah.
SA looks like they might have a contingent coming as well. So
Well, it's definitely the most attractive form of doing it, and really, the Friday doesn't. If I was traveling that far, wouldn't worry me too much because it means Sunday's their travel day home. So either
yeah,
way, you're losing 2 work days. So
yep,
um, and if you decide to do that, you could always just take the whole week before off anyway, and just because you'd be taking 2 days off. So it's probably not a bad way to do it. And yeah, and look, for those guys that are traveling, to be able to go and hit a track for 2 days is a better option than coming up for one. So and Friday's probably good too, because if you break your shit, there's a good chance places are going to be open to get stuff. Well, when you break your shit on a Saturday afternoon, it's very hard to get shit for Sunday.
yeah.
What's your plan with things? What's in the build? What's in the background? What needs fixing? What hasn't been fixed?
Haven't done
When are you planning on driving?
shit on the cars here, and I just realized this week that it's 2 weeks until the Revo day, and I haven't done anything. Like, just been doing catching up on house stuff, like massively.
Getting
Yeah,
old, mate.
neglecting. Well, it was being neglected, so yeah, big sort of massive bills at the moment with that. But no, I will be driving this year. Like I'm not taking a year off or anything. I don't think I could ever take a year off.
Yeah, no.
I think the only reason I take a year off is because I didn't choose to take a year off.
Yeah, fair enough. Oh shit, the year's over and I forgot to drive, or I didn't have time to drive.
Or like my car is just constantly broken. Like yeah, well, like as in not well. I couldn't get it to drive, or I don't know, maybe I got crashed into and I've broken my neck or something. I don't know.
Well, there should be a whole bunch of drift missiles coming up for sale in Canberra now after the wild weather you had the other day.
That was crazy. Yeah, I've been trying to hunt down engines and stuff.
You fucking piece of shit. I know it was terrible. I've been looking for cheap shit.
Yeah, I mean, I left a note today on the car because I'm keen on the engine. I said, "I'm sorry, I didn't say. I got someone else that was better at writing to help me out and write the letter because otherwise I'd be like, I want your parts and call me." But no, they said something like you know, it's sad to see that your car's been damaged by the hailstorm, but if the car's not repairable and the car's written off by insurance, give me a call or something like that. And sorry for your loss or something like that. Left my phone number.
Fair enough.
So that
and so you left that on Paul's windscreen of his 14.
Maybe. If it had a windscreen, then I left it there. So I shoved it in the door jam and yeah.
Oh, at least Paul still had a windscreen.
Yeah, bits of it.
Oh, was it smashed?
Smashed. Yeah.
Oh. That's not good.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty bad. Like yeah, like some of them had big holes. Like it looks like, I don't know. It's not even a gunshot, but it's like you know how like a gunshot has a hole. Oh, well, you've seen in movies, it has like a hole and like an impact sort of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
It's kind of like that, but like a golf ball size. But because I think the impact is so slow, it hasn't sort of like cracked really finely. It's just gone like splat.
Yeah.
On the windscreen. So.
Well, the amount of dents on cars and just how deep the dents on cars were is what shocked the shit out of me, and the fact that so many pillars, like down to like smashing paint off them on new cars.
Yeah.
Paint. When paint coming off on a fucking pillar is pretty fucking extreme of a hit.
Yeah, like just the because pillars are a complex curve, so they're pretty strong. Like because they're in that sort of direction, then there's probably more chance of it deflecting. But no, this thing was like, yeah, it would have been. I'm surprised no one actually got killed.
Yeah, that's when somebody has suggested that people should have been out defending their cars better, I was just like, yeah, it's probably a really good way to die.
Yeah.
And the fact that there was that video of the guys at the art gallery or the museum standing, the workers standing underneath those bloody umbrellas. I was like, man, I'd be standing up on top of the tables to get my head as far up underneath that umbrella as possible. I'm happy to take hits and stuff to the leg, but yeah, take one to the wrong part of your head and there's a good chance you're not waking up.
No.
So, yeah, definitely not a good look. But how did your wrecking yard fare?
Yeah, it's fine. It was like a narrow band through Canberra, like it was right through the city, like where all the people come,
all the
public servants and all the open car parks are, and just sort of like that straight band down the middle of the city. So on the south side, everyone that's far north or far south, it's fine.
I think when I'd heard the reports from, and the funniest part is I didn't mention Canberra, even though it was the worst hit, but that's probably typical New South Wales media. think it was already up to like $30-something million in insurance claims for that, just for that storm. So
I reckon it's more
yeah,
than that.
but that was the day after. Like that's already just the day after people haven't bothered chasing up or
Because
got
there's
claims
the
processed and
buildings.
stuff. So
Yeah,
yeah,
well, people started making claims straight away, and I know there was a person that was on hold from the afternoon until about 9 p.m. trying
I,
to make a claim.
most of them now you can just take pictures of the bloody damage and just send it in through the app, and then they'll get back to you when
Yeah.
they process you. Like it's pointless doing much more than that anymore, really.
Apparently, some people
Or you can
figured out you got
faster through it.
priority response, even though they said, it sounds like you should sort of slot in depending on the time you lodged, but people sort of figured out that they actually got priority if they called, so then they'd get their shit repaired quicker.
Yeah, well, it's
So,
probably not going to be. It's probably going to be payouts more than repairs. So
yeah, just the people that are expecting repairs so far, they're so far the ones that actually are expecting repairs, they don't they're booked in March at the moment.
fuck.
Yeah. So I with the process, like the amount they still have to process, I reckon this is going to go on for like 6
Oh,
months.
yeah, big time. Any car dealerships or anything under that?
Should be. Yeah. Um, I haven't
But the worst
heard
part is
from.
that the worst part
Yeah.
is they're not even like you can't even buy them as like fucking hail damage. They've been fucking hammered.
Yeah, I don't know what the go is with that.
Like they
Um,
got like it's not like your normal like oh each car's only got 3 or 4 dings on it, in the roof and something like that. They all look like fucking golf balls.
yeah, they do.
Like the MythBusters proved that the car goes faster with that shit on it, so uh, people should probably keep it, and it's more aerodynamic. But I'm not sure what the longevity of you probably need to get the car clear coated or something just to make sure it doesn't rust. But
It's
other than
Canberra.
that,
It doesn't rust in Canberra. Like it's so dry here.
it's so dry except when they drop shitloads of ice from the sky.
Yeah, but still, it dried. Like, did I send you the photo half an hour later? It was like blue
Yeah,
sky.
sunny and
Yeah, and that was it. So it just came through.
Yeah, I was
Um,
disappointed we didn't get hit here by anything that exciting. Not where I was. So, but again, a narrow, super narrow storm front because I could see the edge of it. It spat like big bullets for maybe a minute that were sort of 1 meter apart on the ground from each other, and then it never hit. So,
hmm. Yep.
but yeah, so I guess we'll keep an eye on the auctions and see what comes up.
Or if you're listening and you have a pre '08 Honda Accord Euro for sale, so that's hail damaged, I'll buy it from salvage from you.
Yeah, somebody just sent me a
Salvage
picture
price.
of their white Series 114, and I think he told me he'd sell it to me for $1,500. So as is with hail damage.
uh,
I feel like I'd probably get a kick in the dick with it. So, uh,
what else? I'm not expecting major changes for my cars this year. Just try and keep them cool and reliable, or reliably hot. I don't know. Just try and cool them down.
yeah, I'm pretty much the same. I thought about starting another build, but I don't know. Man, the prices on everything have gone so fucking retarded in the last couple of months. Like, I mean in the short term. Like, I went on Gumtree and Facebook Marketplace and car sales, and I don't think there's an S15 online for under $23,000.
Yes, there is.
No,
Yeah. Oh, you
an
talking about like?
S15,
Yeah.
maybe like a rolling shell or like
No,
there,
I've seen them
there's
because I've been sent them because
people have
was it?
been um,
No, it's because we've been sharing the expensive ones and laughing at them. That's why.
no, I had a look and there's really not anything online for cheap.
Because I have an old workmate who's looking for one for his nephew, and he's been sending me links for some S15s around, and they're under like 50. One was 18, the other one was 15, but the $15,000 one looked a bit worn.
Yeah, but it's still stupid money for shit cars. Like
15 grand is okay. Maybe
It's
not. I wouldn't pay
not
that much for
really-
that car, but
Yeah,
it's
but just-
15. Come on.
yeah, but you know what I mean. Like it's. I think I'm.
That one we saw the other day for 40 grand. That was a rip.
Yeah, like mate, it's got the fucking original CD stacker. It's fucking definitely worth. No, I think it was 50, wasn't it? Or was it only 40?
Oh, I think it was the only reason I think it was 40. I remember it was 40 was because that was the price, the retail price for the Spec S originally.
From factory.
Yeah,
Fucking hell.
and that thing had 150,000 Ks or something. It wasn't even low Ks.
Yeah.
It wasn't even under 100,000. It looked nice. It was neat, but
Can we still import 15s? We can still import 15s, right?
you can only. As in, we can import them now, or could we import them before?
No, I know we could import them before, but can we
Only
still import them?
Only the early ones.
Ah.
So there's a.
Because I know you can't,
98
because you can't import 14s for street use or whatever. I think that's still a thing.
Yeah, it's because you cannot import a model that was sold here, or like a year model that was sold
Yeah.
here. So
I
So
think we sold them the whole time, right?
yeah, I think so. But S15s had a year which was sold in Japan, but not in Australia,
Yeah.
and we can import those ones. But then personal imports. So if you do live wherever and you buy
And buy it and own it and all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
I think is it 2 or 5 years now? They made it more
Yeah,
than 1
made it
year.
longer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I started looking at, instead of building a car, I started looking at potentially wanting a 180 as a street car or something like that, because it means you can, if you want to be a full tight ass, you can go historic or club rego if it's one of the older ones.
Hmm.
You don't have to give a shit about airbags. You're just sort of a little bit more relaxed on the things you can do because it didn't ever have the safety features and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Been toying with the idea of doing something like that just because the prices have been going up, and if it was something you just put away and kept forever, it, you know, not necessarily a bad thing. So
Yep.
And eventually, I think hopefully those prices will fall off a cliff eventually, but I think we're a good 5 to 10 years away from that happening. So, and they might all be gone by then. Unless you want them as
be running on fuel, might not be on petrol.
Nah, yes, we
Could be
will.
electric.
Yes, nah. Will not happen in the next 10 years.
If I could do an electric car for the same price as what I got the 180 for, then I'd definitely do an electric drift car.
Yeah, for that sort of thing, fair enough. But have you ever watched the Auto Expert guy?
No.
He basically went through and did the calculations of, you know, per kilojoule how much energy a car takes to build it, plus, you know, its upkeep and all that sort of stuff. And it's sort of like, if you want the most environmentally friendly car, just shut the fuck up and keep the one that you've got now.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, it's the turnover of cars that's using more energy than what it takes to actually run that car for X number of years.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, even like the fuel, people saying that they save money on buying a new car on fuel, but like you've paid, I don't know, $30,000 more than
yeah, and then
the
they're like,
current
oh,
car.
but it's better for the environment. It's like, well, no, you're supporting the industry to keep putting out a shitload of pollution, digging up steel, doing all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, nah.
No, it wasn't for environmental. It's just I think it's going to be fun, and that's the direction.
Oh no, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, screw the environment.
Yeah, and an electric car's
meat.
probably electric cars, other than the induction noise from the 350, probably sounds about the same as the 350. You don't hear much other than tire squeal and induction noise. So. So yeah. I know over the weekend, round 3.
Yeah.
Round 3 of SA was on.
Yep.
Was that the end of their season?
I don't know.
We've been like so on top of this. We're like the best journalists in the world.
I did watch part of it.
You watched
Actually.
part of it. I think I watched a couple of entries, and that's about it.
Yeah, it looked. I watched more of the level 2 stuff than the level 1. I don't know why. It just seemed to come up at the right time. Whatever I was doing at the time, I could watch the level 2 stuff. And
The Scott Miller won, which isn't a
Yep.
surprise.
Aussie was second. I think it
Aussie
was.
second, Troy Lipshinsky in third, and then
Yep.
Simon Micklemore in his brand new built 8.6.
Yeah.
End up in fourth. No, it's 5 rounds, so this is their midway point in their season. And yeah, for a series that everybody thought was going to be dead, because the track was pulling support, still supporting them and giving them the track, but pulling taking the burden of responsibility on, money.
Yep.
Their numbers have still been pretty good. Seems like it's still working. Their L2 compared to last year is fucking massive.
Yeah.
I think last year they had an average of 8 drivers, or 8 or less drivers, depending. And
It was I think it was 8 or less.
Yeah,
on average at least.
And now they've got, this round had 20 cars, so that's more the good direction to see things going. So, EG, have you been in the Philippines?
Me? Nah. Been over the Philippines, I think. Does that count?
Yeah, the closest I think I've been to being in Southeast Asia has been stopping in Bangkok to change planes, stopping in Singapore to change planes, stopping in Malaysia to change planes. So,
while you're jet setting around the world.
Yeah, or missing flights and having to go via a different way.
I'd like to go. I've heard friends say it's been pretty fun, but it's been hasn't it been really bad politically there? Like, didn't they have like a big thing a couple of years ago where everyone was like shooting each other? Nah, don't know. Okay, just talk. Maybe it's just Americans.
I don't know. Matty, I know somebody was driving a fairly stock 350 down there. Let me know how they're going competitively, and then maybe I'll show up with a car for a round. But
yeah, there was some pretty. Oh, I was just watching. Yeah, that was L2, but yeah, never mind. That's probably don't.
Yeah, but
you'll be fine in L1.
Yeah, and I think those guys down there are pretty respectful of their speed gates and stuff like that, and that's my biggest issue, is getting the car to actually leave the line and get the big girl moving, as opposed to holding speed. Holding speed is not too bad, as long as there's no sections of track that really open up and you need to power skid out of it. So maybe we'll see. Maybe I think if I do a round or two of DCA, it'll probably get me hungry for competition again, but I'm not sure I'd do a trip to South Australia to dip my feet into the comp stuff again until until I'm got that competitive bug back in me, because just enjoying trying to thrash the shit out of this car and trying to kill it, and it doesn't want to die. So
yeah, it'd be cool. I want to go over to the Bend. I want to check it out. Haven't been to the new track. Been to Malala before, but probably not this year though. There's too much going on, I feel like.
Yeah, I feel the same. It's sort of, I don't even know.
Still sorting out schedules, and then
even
with like all the bushfires and hail now, it's just like some of the plans have been set back a lot. So
with the fires, has your lamp inspection spot been alright?
No. Yeah, Canberra's like super prepared for bushfires. They did kind of close the road off, I think, just to stop, because people lighting fires out there. They just go out and then been
Yeah.
lighting fires around town. So they've closed. Well, they've not closed. They've restricted traffic out to those areas.
Yeah.
So if you don't need to be there, you can't go out there.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's sort of closed.
I doubt that they'd be out there now.
Yeah.
But the other spot that we check out, the street lamps, that's went on fire. So it's kind of like a very out of the way spot. So I don't think anyone could really, like, you'd have to go out there to check on it. There wouldn't be any coverage anywhere about that. But yeah, it's been pretty bad, and I think everyone's I feel they're in the mode of raising money for the fires, and like everything's like there's a big awareness of the fires, and
Oh yeah, still massive, which is fair. Like I know insurance will take care of a lot of it and stuff like that, but it's trying to get some of the organizations that have, animal sanctuaries and stuff like that got absolutely smashed, or now
yeah,
have a shitload more work just to get them, instead of them having to fuck around and wait for either government money or insurance money just to get them back off the ground as quickly as possible. So
yeah, because we had some plans for fundraising for our team, but sort of put them on hold.
oh fuck, I forgot about that. Yeah,
because it was almost like, if that
around the same time.
it will, it would definitely clash, and it would definitely get very little support, I'm pretty sure, compared to the people affected by the fires. So
Yeah, that's fair.
yeah.
Are you still planning on doing Japan this year?
Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to figure out, because there's a lot of events on, and we're planning to go to the November one this year. So we do have,
Isn't the November one the retardedly busy one though?
with
Like every American shows up and shit like that.
At least Blake's not going to be there, and his crew, because they were pretty. I heard about their reputation; they were pretty bad while they're over there.
I think I can't remember whose vlogs and stuff that I was watching, but
in November,
the November one.
I imagine if you go in November, you see a lot of.
Yeah, but it was stupid with the fact that you couldn't even get into pit areas and stuff like that, trying to come off the track, and people just parking on top of each other. And
but that's what it used to be like decades ago. That's what it used to be.
But like that with Japanese people, or like that with foreigners?
That with Japanese people, not with foreigners. And then,
well, I feel like Japanese people potentially just a little bit maybe more respectful than people who will be like, I've paid to be here, so I'll do whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah, well, it's just a particular crowd of people, actually. It's not Australians, from what I heard, which is good now, but like it's definitely like a demographic of people that everyone's sort of suggesting it is.
Yeah, I don't think it would I don't think it would only be from people from Trumpministan. I think it would also be potentially people from Europe as well, though.
Yeah, I probably.
Honestly, I think it would be anybody who's new school to it, or anybody who's old school to it would probably respect the values of what it used to be. But I think anybody new school, doesn't matter what country they're from, and it also depends on what crowd you associate yourself with. Like if you're new but associating yourself with an old crowd, you're probably going to be fairly respectful. But if you're completely green and not surrounded by anybody who's been there before, you're more likely going to be an obnoxious prick. So
yeah, yep.
So
I've seen that.
So November this year.
Yeah, that's the plan for our trip. But that comes off DCA weekend. So DCA weekend, get back to
provided
Canberra.
those dates don't change.
I think Luke was saying that he's pretty set on that one because he wants to have that week sort of event again.
Yeah. It all comes just down to the council confirming that's the weekend that they'll give him Gambia.
So it'd be like it'd be kind of like what? Because I'm pretty sure Adam LZ did the same thing. He came over here Oh no, he did Simmons, and then he went to Japan after that, didn't he?
Yeah, he didn't do
Yeah.
Matsuri, I don't think. Did he do Matsuri? Nah, I don't think he did Matsuri. He did some other stuff. He went to like Nico with the Yoshio Factory guys and all that. I don't think he did. He was there at the same time as the very end of Matsuri or something, but I don't think he bothered showing up to Matsuri.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's the same
basically,
sort of thing.
yeah, same sort of time though. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he arrived when it was still on.
Yeah. So we'd have to leave Mount Gambier, get back to Canberra. I think I left a day of leeway just in case, and then get on the plane and go.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and then I think I'm thinking about doing another trip, um, just to go fix my car. Well, not fix my car, tear it down,
Yeah.
and then attach all those parts onto the other car, and then move our storage car like it's just a big shuffle around. So it's going to be, I might have to do a few trips, and then I've got a personal trip at the end of the year, which will hopefully include Auto Salon. So
Nice. So you've been on all the Jetstar specials.
I missed out on I'm missing out on the current special at the moment for August or September. So that was the plan of going to go and fix the car, or to wreck the car and put bits onto the other car, and then got to go back again in November for the event, and then Auto Salon.
Nice.
So I don't even know if I can afford it.
I was gonna say, now who's the one with all the money?
So
See, you should just do what I do. Have a car that works all the time in Australia, and then just drive as much as you can here, and you don't need that Japanese shit.
yeah, that's true. But I like going over there. I meet lots of
No.
people, and it's different. Like you get a lot of variety and skill. So man, there's some exceptional drivers there, and then they're like, yeah, that's cool. Like you just go and drive it. Like you just say hello, and they say hello, and you say, can I drive with you or something like that, and then they go like 2 people, and then like yeah, or no, whatever, and then you just drive. You swap places. You lead chase, and then yeah, it was like I had some really cool, fun, interesting experiences because you just learn so much.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
what I need to try and find here is more people willing to. The rev days aren't so bad with you guys, but trying to find more people willing to actually bloody pair up properly and go out and drive.
yeah, it's kind of a different vibe, but at the same time the tracks are different. Like they're not. I wouldn't say they're made for drifting, but they flow so much better for drifting. Like Marulan's awesome, that flows really well. But Wakefield, you only get like a couple of corners, and the rest of it doesn't really flow. Like you could do it, but
Yeah, and that's not so bad because you
yeah,
because you can get around it fairly quickly. It's not, just keep hitting the same part again. But the reality is there's one event there all year this year, and the rest is Marulan, so people
yeah,
should be getting plenty of tandem practice in. It sounds like Buddy Rally will finally get this resurface that they've been talking about for ages too. So Rally might be on the cards for a trip at some stage.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I could afford to do that this year.
Fucking useless cunt. Yeah, but again, it would just be trying to knowing the right people are going to go up there for me to actually make that trip. Because again, with Marulan just down the road, I'd rather drive that than.
Yeah,
I
and
feel like
there's a challenge. I think people still haven't got the downhill
the downhill of
at
um
Marulan.
yeah
Yeah.
yeah so
I'm
yeah
pretty sure there's a line there that's like incredibly good, and no one's nailed it yet.
we get to run the whole track backwards this time.
Backwards.
So we get to go backwards,
Oh
and we
yeah,
get to go
okay.
through, and we get to go through the S's.
Yeah, so I don't think I'm gonna do that.
Hmm?
I don't think I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna let the car cool down. Otherwise, it just gets so hot.
Nah, I want to try and hit it. And then Nick said that there might be a cooldown zone between sort of where I don't know if you've seen any of the videos from the normal Pheasant Wood days, but they've got like a exclusion zone, which is sort of that big sweeping left-hander before it tightens and then goes back up the hill. So if you go through if you're running normal direction and you go through turn 2, 3, and then you come along the wall where you can like basically just hold it along the wall the whole way down the hill before you go back up the hill, like the big dangerous sketchy left-hander.
Yep.
Uh, that's an exclusion zone during the normal Marulin days, and Nick said potentially running backwards. We won't be allowed to drift that section, but I told him to get fucked. I'm going to try it anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
How's that? I don't understand why that would be like. As in, that's the only part you can't drift.
Yeah, I think they just don't want to risk people putting it in the wall doing dumb shit. So, I just think during the normal events, because I think they're not. I don't think they run flaggies on the track. I think because did you see in the tower how many surveillance cameras they've got all
Yeah.
over the track?
Yep. Saw them all.
So
and then
I
I
think
showed other people. It's cool.
yeah, so I
Yeah.
think they just sit there and on those normal days sit in the tower and just pretty
Yep.
much let it self-manage itself, and if they
Yeah,
need
it's
to,
like
they'll
a
try and
60-inch screen with high resolution cameras. It looks cool. It
yeah.
looks like a control room. Like it looks awesome.
And yeah, so I'd imagine they cut that section of the track out because they're just not going to respond fast enough if somebody has a big crash there. Because well, that's where
okay.
that's where you would have a big crash if you're going to have a big crash.
Yep.
So I think but I think during all these other
It'll be
events,
fast.
yeah, I think for all these other events, it's not really a big deal because they have the rev guys have guys on track ready to respond. But I think running the other direction will be a bit sketchier, like running it backwards because the beginning of that corner is tight and then it opens up, as opposed to running it the normal direction. It's open and then tightens. It's tight just before you start coming back up the hill.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think coming down the hill from that direction, where you guys all
Yeah.
went splaying off the track, I think if you fuck up that initiation and don't get it to actually start going around that corner, you're going to go into that wall really hard.
Yeah. If it doesn't, yeah, it's
because you're flat siding the wall almost as opposed to running
Yep.
along the wall.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be interesting. We'll see what
Yeah.
happens.
And it's being banked as well. I think would feel.
Yeah, it should pull you off. It should pull you off the wall, but yeah, I still think it's fairly tight in that section. So
Yeah. See, that's what I thought once, but I spun it out in front of you.
yeah, it's not really a big deal. Are you're doing Rev Day though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Ages ago.
That's good.
No.
Just trying to have tandem buddies.
Oh, okay.
I'm just like focus on tandeming. So
Yeah, I feel rusty. I think if I do it with you, I'm gonna smash into you.
that's all right.
Pretty car dirty.
You got to keep up with me, motherfucker.
I think that's what it's like now. Like I saw you drive a North Circle, like that video. It's like completely different Greg to 2 years ago.
Oh, look, the cars are night and day. Like really, like fuck. I would be interested to get back into a Wisefab car and see
How you drive it, yeah.
how I drive it. But I think
Yeah.
honestly, I feel like I'd probably get the shits. Because I still got the muscle memory from it, and it just I don't know. But it might also be the fact that this car I've just got to stay pinned the whole time to make it work, and the other car you'd be on and off it, and it was lazy and all that sort of stuff. So, and that would break.
Which one's been more fun or enjoyable between this car and that car?
Look, to be honest, like the first 14 was really fun, even after I got Wisefab and stuff like that, because it still worked a lot and I drove it a lot. But this car is, I feel like steering wise, is better. And just the fact that even that car, like you couldn't, it still blow tires off it and do all that sort of shit. Where this one's been just you can do lap after lap after lap after lap. And pretty much once you knock the tread blocks off it and it gets down to like just a full slick and it's still got a heap of grip, that's the best part of the tire, and it lasts for ages once it's there.
Okay.
So
But what about the smoke? There's no smoke.
I fucking can't see the smoke when I'm driving forward anyway. Like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, like, look, you see pictures and stuff come up, and everybody else has more pictures generally because their car looks cooler doing it and all that sort of shit. But then it's sort
Yeah.
of like, man, there were guys who drive in particular series and stuff like that I was driving with on South Circuit. And I'm like, oh, you guys are grabbing fourth? And they're like, oh, no, we're just doing thirds. And I'm like, your cars have like 400 kilowatt. Like, what are you doing? Like, just drive faster.
Yeah.
So like the advantage of the big power was like some of those guys weren't getting on the power until they were, you know, through the corner onto the straight, and then they'd get on the power and they'd be entering, you know, only a little bit slower than what I would normally enter when I have to be full hook going up the front straight. But if they did that to me, then I couldn't keep up with them. You know what I mean? Like if they
Yeah.
dawdled around that corner and then got on it, like I was fucked. I was left behind. But then it's not too bad in mid corner. This car's not too bad. So
Yeah, it picks up really nicely. Like also I noticed when I was behind you. Like as soon as you get through mid corner and then you start to accelerate, it seems to like squat and start driving away.
yeah. So that's what I think I solved the stupid throttle issue. So that should be, yeah. I'll be interested to see at Marulan now if it does it. But I don't think it did it all weekend at North. I think the guy who tuned it. So if you've got an electronic throttle, be aware of this shit. I'm pretty sure the dude who tuned it is a big dude and with a fucking heavy foot, and I think he pulled the seat out to tune the car because he couldn't fit in it. And when he's calibrated the pedal, his foot is so heavy and so strong, he ended up pushing the pedal past, like, you know, there's like carpet and rubber and all sorts of shit under the pedal.
Yeah.
And I think when he's calibrated it, because his foot's so fucking heavy, it's gone past like a certain amount of swing. And
I can't see how that would, because it just
so,
go, because it'd be like a what's it called, a potentiometer
yeah,
or something.
but I think it's gone past its max. So what happens is when you're pushing it all the way to the floor there, it would like teeter at like 99 point something % throttle, and then you'd keep your foot still, and it would sort of flick back and forth a really small percentage for no reason at all. And then when I tried to recalibrate that, I hadn't saved it to the ECU properly, and so I went back and tried it again and just did a soft 100%.
Yeah.
And it hasn't had any drama since.
Oh, okay.
So I think, yeah, just a big fucking heavy foot potentially going past what it was supposed to, and then when they were talking to each other, the throttle body and the were just all crazy. Yeah, Paul, I was running Zero Ackerman in the WiseFab setup because I had an earlier one and it didn't come with the adjusters, and then I got the adjusters for the Ackerman and the car got stolen before I got to play with it. So, yeah, look, honestly, I think that would probably help a little bit, but also the fact that they moved the spindle on the WiseFab probably would still make it feel WiseFab compared to. I think that also makes those cars definitely slower in drift than the non-WiseFab cars, because it just sort of wants to keep falling onto lock. But yeah, my aim this year, just try and tandem more. I might take a bit more of a think approach to tandems, and, you know, straighten up a little bit and throw it in hard.
What do you mean? Wait. You explain this a bit more.
No, you know how like
Luke's not listening anyway. He's busy.
Nah, that's all right. Yeah, he's busy on drift. He's busy on drift week, and he's probably drunk and asleep right now. No, he's really good at getting the car to come out of a corner when he's tandeming, when he knows what the next corner's like, a little bit shallower, and then able to get a run on the car in front, and then be able to just chuck it at the door on the next corner. And I want to be able to do that a little bit more instead of trying to do like big angle for the 350, and then losing distance on the car in front,
Yeah.
and then not being able to catch them between the corners. Once I get good at that, then there's probably potential that I'm going to want more power and more something, but we'll see. But that's what I want to improve on.
Man, it's a good chance your car's just gonna get like beat to shit doing that.
Yeah, look, I'm not going to fucking do it to people that are complete potatoes.
Yeah, but like just like me, like when I was in front of Paul.
Yeah, I said I'm
I'm
not
getting
going
the gear.
See, I hit at the bash. I hit Paul for the same reason, but I was on the start line, and then I've had Luke smash me in the rear when the throttle did the retarded shit in Queensland. So the car's had some big hits, and you just can't tell that it's had some big hits. They take it
Yeah.
not too bad. It's when you cave doors and stuff that it's obvious. So
Yeah, well, I was looking at some of the, I don't know what you call that group, the guys that are hanging out with Adam LZ, like their practice cars. They're all just like caved under the door Rios.
yeah, there's sort of the body line of the car, and like the body line of the 350 door is sort of like just jut in, like a third of the way up the door or something, and yeah, they tend to look smashed in there. And those guys are all running like these rock slidery type things for a little while too, to try and stop some of that. But that's also because they're purposely trying to tap each other's doors too, and trying to put dents in those doors. So Luke's fairly nice. He either tries to hit you in the front quarter or the rear, just behind the door inside the wheel well. So he's fairly polite with that stuff. So
He is
fairly,
annoyingly skilled.
fairly, still fucks your shit up.
He can, but
so yeah, that's my plan for this year. I don't know what else will happen.
new car.
Nah, I don't think so. I wanted to, but too many of these. Even when I paid the bill for doing the freshen up on the car, I was like, fuck, this is a big bill. But I'm like, that's probably all other than oil and other stuff for the year, that's pretty much all the car's going to need. You know, that was a fairly major overhaul for the year, which I was happy to do just to know that I have peace of mind for at least probably the first 6 months of the year and not having to worry about shit.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, previously I'd spend that much on the car and I'd be like, cool, let's go. And now I'm like, fuck, I don't want to spend that money on the car.
You spent so much money before on the S14.
I know, I'm getting old, mate.
You're getting wiser, maybe. Or you're just getting old and boring.
I think it's just a different form of fun.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. Yep.
Maybe I'll be stupid enough and let you drive it at some stage soon.
No, if it's anything like the old car, I'm not interested.
Nah, the old car didn't have any of the steering lock stuff either.
You said it was normal when I got in. Like, I got into it, I'm like, is this normal? It doesn't sound normal. And like, yeah, it's fine.
Man, I'd had the car all week. And my other one had been stolen, mate. I was not in a good frame of mind.
No, yeah, with us, we do have plans for a new car in the build, but so the plan was to make, include a series of videos so we can add it to our sort of team stuff. But because when some people are asking about, we've had people sort of say, "Oh, you're into drifting. Do you have anything to show us?" And like, I go and show them the YouTube stuff and the Facebook things, and like, it's all images and videos of other people. Like, it's not of us, because I don't like taking photos from other pages and
and posting them up.
Yeah, so it doesn't really sort of showcase us. It's more like we're just sort of sharing our experiences on that page of other people, of us with other people, and you'd see other people on there more than us. So it's a perspective from us to them, not someone else to us. Yeah. So That's the plan, but like yeah, just a few things have been delayed. I think that I was surprised how much uh, the bushfire stuff around here actually affected us. So
Yeah.
hopefully,
Also,
yeah, we can get back on track.
but even that stuff just made it difficult to go outside and get stuff done.
Yeah, well, I needed to prepare more so than uh, actually start working on that thing because it's pretty basic. We're not really, yeah. So we have to share the workload between us, and then the car is currently at my place, but I've got I don't know, 3 cars sitting in front of it. So I need to get the car sitting in front of it running so I can get that car out and then start working on that.
Yeah, I just can't wait for that Alloy Tech converted twin turboed
Man, that's not even first.
Toyota Avalon that you're doing.
It's not even a secret, I don't think. Is it a secret?
I don't know. I don't think we've ever discussed it on here, so.
No, we haven't. But I mean, I did film a video to try and sort of give a brief introduction, but like that video is kind of irrelevant with all the plans I had then.
Yeah.
It's irrelevant to because the bushfires really that sort of pushed the plans around. So maybe we're behind by a month. So
yeah, but if worst comes to worst, don't rush it and just leave it for the following year sort of thing. So
no, I want to get it done because otherwise, it just takes forever. Like those forever builds, and I've got a forever build in my backyard. Got an R31 2-door that I'm said I was going to get done in 10 years. It's currently 13 years, and still I've accumulated all the parts, but I haven't done anything on it.
This is why I think we'll still have petrol in 30 years time.
And then I sold the engine out of it as well. So I don't know. I'm gonna find another one, and then RB20 is going to get rare soon as well.
Something like that. Somebody would just start casting them in their own backyard. Yeah, and then plans with this through the year. I guess we'll see what happens. I think Aegis had enough trouble trying to get me on in the first 4 weeks of this year, so.
No, like I kind of been glad that it hasn't happened because I'm trying to get through the housework. Like there's still a lot of other things I need to get done. Like I thought I'd get this done during the Christmas break, and it just didn't happen.
Yeah, look, honestly, I think most of this will probably continue to be more of mine and EG's catch-ups and just us talking shit about shit that we would normally talk crap about, and probably not going too crazy trying to get too many guests and stuff on, similar to what the last half of last year was like. If it's people like Michael from Badalist and people who've been with us the whole time and they get in contact with us and for a chat, just for them to help sort of spew some information out to the public and all that, I think we'll definitely still be taking on that sort of stuff, but I don't think we're going to be like the first year where we were crazy trying to get, actively seeking people to do interviews and stuff like that. If people want to come on, message us and come on and have a chat, but I don't think we're going to be crazy active trying to bust our balls to make stuff happen because I don't know, the first year was really good. It was, a lot of people interested, and I think lots of people are still interested, but I think us trying to do too much in the way of prep and trying to promote for others, I think for us has just gotten hard, and we want to sort of focus on getting our own stuff and making sure that we're either earning enough money or doing enough stuff, not through these channels but through our normal work life, that we're able to continue to drive and do all that sort of stuff rather than trying to do too much crazy promotional stuff for others and all that. But again, if people want to come on and have a controversial topic that they want to hear our opinion on or debate on, well, you don't even have to ask us for it. We're probably going to see stuff happen and then talk shit about it. But
yeah,
I think these will be sort of there'll be weeks where that just doesn't happen because we're both just like, nah, fuck it, too much shit to get done or exhausted. So
Yep.
I think you've ended up feeling on the same page. I think end of last year you're more motivated than me, but I think you're now on the same page as me, where there's a lot of background stuff in our lives going on, and we sort of want to keep pushing and pursuing all that as number one. And this is sort of Greg and EG's catch up time with anybody else who wants to come in and have a spew too.
Yeah, it's cool. Like I like doing this. I think it's good
Yeah.
that we have the catch up and
Yeah.
we can get people. But sometimes, like the amount of effort it takes to get someone on is like.
Yeah, and we've also had we had some of our guys have been great, but then we've had lots of others super interested or send us heaps of messages, debating the things that we've said, and then we've offered them the chance to come on and talk,
Yeah.
and it's either, oh, I've got this on this week, this on the next week, blah blah whatever, and then the others just end up wanting to spew their opinion at us, and then we're like, all right, well, here's a platform to come on and talk some shit with us. Oh no, I don't want to do that. So
Yeah,
that
they're
stage,
afraid. Yeah, they get scared.
so at that stage we'll keep coming on and talking shit about ourselves.
And other people sometimes.
Well, I'm talking shit about other people too. Yeah, that's fair. But I think and for us it's a good chance to catch up because we've got guys like Ty in the comments who we interviewed in year one, and he's doing all sorts of crazy shit. Announced another trip to Europe and stuff like that. And I'm getting more enjoyment out of just sitting back and following the guys that we've met along the way and and shit. When you sit and just even watch the little bits and pieces that are coming out from all the guys that we've already met, the hours are done. Like it's like, all right, let alone trying to discover the next new guy and all that sort of stuff. So, but hopefully with DCA back this year, things will be a little bit more exciting again. You'll definitely have more to talk about. If you end up judging the whole series, I'll try and drive a couple of rounds. FD will be bigger and better this year.
Well, because
Daigo's
going.
Yeah, Shinji's going. Daigo's going. Couple of venue changes. Now that James
I really wanted to get to one of the rounds this year, but I need someone to pay for it.
Yeah. You probably find once you've got your Japan car sorted and you avoid shit drivers in Japan, then you'll probably have money in the next couple of years again. But
I'm gonna try and go next year.
Yeah, hopefully their schedule cleans up a little bit and there's a good event with Pro 2 and Pro on at the same time that's in a city worth going to. So that should be a big year. FD Japan looks like it'll be a big year. It looks like they've got more and more guys, especially with guys like Shinji now going over to the US. It sounds like they've got I don't know if you saw Aaron Losey did an interview with
I don't really watch his videos.
He did an interview with Robbie Nishida. It's probably one worth listening to in the car or something like that. You don't need to watch it, just listen to it.
That's not a Daigo's.
No, there's that one. There's the one at the workshop, and then he did another one at Matsuri sometime last year.
Yeah, fire. That guy makes a lot of content for someone.
That's what he does full time.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know how he makes so much content. Like
he just talks. He just knows everybody. He's been around for so long now. But yeah, look, decent interview. But it sounds like a lot of the younger Japanese guys are super keen on trying to get Pro 1 licenses and trying to make some way of trying to get over to the US. So it sounds like their numbers are going to be fairly good at FG Japan again this year. So
it's because they see it as
an opportunity to get out.
Yeah, as well, not get out, but they can make money.
Yeah.
Because there's no money really in D1. Like it's stagnant. Like it's just All the same people are qualifying. The same people are getting money, and the other people aren't. Like it's just.
Well, that's at least what the human judge format opens up a little bit more, is the fact that there can be slip ups in the judging system that ends up giving somebody else a way in, where the electronic judging system is just the best guys will probably always stay at the top, sort of thing, or the guys who are fulfilling that criteria the best will always
Yeah.
stay there. Where at least the human judging system, you could do one cool flick into a corner that on a DOS system might not resonate all that well with the
Yeah.
system, but all of a sudden in the human judging system, like, oh, that was fucking cool, you know, extra points. So yeah, it sounds like all the international stuff's going to be a big year. Irish Drift series was just announced. Live stream is done for that. There won't be any live streams, which I think is a completely smart move to make. Those events need people through the gate to survive. End of the day, they need everybody paying their their 20-25 euro through the gate for that event to survive. So
Yeah.
pointless giving away live streams for free. Even if there was some company willing to pay for it, that company would probably not only have to pay for the rights. Sorry, not the rights. Not only have to pay to pay for the production, but also pay the loss of gate revenue because of putting on the live stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think overall it should be a fairly big year. I'm sure as soon as it all starts up again, there'll be some controversial shit that comes out, which will be exciting. Do you see Nissan announced, or Forsberg put out the new? He's not driving it, but the new Z platform, Z35 has been announced.
No.
Yeah, Z35 has been announced. So.
No, I don't think I follow. No, I don't even get on Instagram that much. So. I think I follow Denofa and.
But yeah, he put up a post today, so it's looking like, yeah, they've done a revised chassis, considering they'd only just announced a new version of the.
Is that America only?
I'm not sure. I would
'Cause-
imagine it'd be worldwide.
Because they've done America only models before.
No. This is like a new chassis, not another, like not a Nismo Edition 370 or anything. As far as I'm aware, it's a fresh chassis. So.
Oh, okay.
So.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Well, it's good. Look, at the end of the day, it's good. Like if it's confirmed and real and happening, it's a good thing because it's another rear drive format that's come out. So.
Is it going to be turbo like the new Gazoo 86 is going to be turbo?
Yeah, but it's still just the same 86 platform, right?
Yeah, but it's turbo. Come on, it's like NA Sylvia versus Turbo Sylvia kind of thing.
No, I understand, but
Oh yeah, there it goes. Yeah. It looks like a mix between a Lexus and a.
Yeah, it's definitely a more Euro-styled car, but
yeah,
it's definitely a fresh chassis, so which is good. But anything headed that direction, and the fact that everybody thought Nissan was going to stop putting money into it, it's cool that Nissan's still interested in at least keeping that sort of platform alive.
Well, they were talking about the Sylvia or Sunny or whatever they called it a few years ago.
Yeah, but I think there was always concept art and all that sort of stuff. But
yeah, I know. Nothing near production. Not like that. There's all concept stuff. Yeah,
and the fact that Toyota's stayed interested in it long term, like has continued to stay interested in that sort of format. Well, they went away from it a little while and then hit it hard with two new cars in that format. So it's good that Nissan's staying on board with it, because I think we're just gonna. We were worried we were going to slowly lose it, but the fact that the Japanese market's still doing it, I think, is the most important market to still be doing it, because it means you can buy a car that's reliable.
Yeah, but they're more like sensible sports cars rather than hot boy sports cars kind of thing.
Oh no, of course, but again, it still means that the sport moving forward will have cars to then turn into, or a car that a company would potentially want marketed.
Yeah.
So.
I still want to try the Stinger for drifting. I think that'd be cool.
Try what?
Kia Stinger.
Yeah. just gearbox issues.
I think you'd have to change that.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I guess we'll be around as many events as we can possibly be around.
Yeah, like I was filling out my calendar, like I'm still trying to figure it out, and there's a lot of events. Like I don't think there's not many months where it's blank, or like there's at least one event.
Yeah.
Or there'd be one event the week leading into or after that sort of free month, I guess.
Yeah.
So lots of stuff going on.
Yeah. And then so for New South Wales, we've got Spawn this Saturday, a weekend off, Rev the following Saturday, so that's the 8th.
Yep.
And then the 16th on the Sunday, there's a charity day out at Luddenham, and it's pretty much the one event a year that a few guys get to drift. And last year they only had 3 cars. This year they're talking 12 to 13 cars. And it was funny, the reaction to a few people finding out who was driving it and stuff like that, being like, oh, I need to go and drive more high tech and stuff like that to try and get noticed to be invited to that sort of stuff. And I was just like,
what?
I was like, you just need to drive more fun events with the people that are in the know more than anything. Like,
that's weird. That's
Yeah.
like that's not what I got out of that event. Like,
yeah,
yeah.
but I need a name sort of thing. I was like, no, not really. You just need to have somebody vouch for you and, basically just know the guys who are in the know for those events. So
if you get out and about enough and you're pretty,
that's the problem.
You're good,
not enough guys go to the big open day ones that, all the guys like your Shanes and stuff. That's
not enough TV time.
So yeah, should be. Yeah, so that'll be good. I think they're charging about $50 for 2 laps or something like that. But again, it's for the fire service and all that. So at this stage, we're only allowed to drift first 4 corners. But Shane said last year, once a few guys in Mustangs were doing cruises and then doing dumb shit, the owners ended up being like, fuck it. These guys have fucked stuff up already, so off you go.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed we at least get a couple of laps so we can do the full track, and I'll do the GoPro in front of my eyes thing and just hope that I can see while I'm driving.
You'll be right.
And then, yeah, we'll see what happens after that. Yeah, anything else spring to mind for the year? But yeah, like honestly, if anybody has anything, get in touch with us. I know, so there's a video coming out from Battleist soon. I'm not sure. Michael jumped in and then disappeared. Anticipate that coming out. I don't know if I'm supposed to say it. I've seen the video. They do it. Just overlaying the drift bit tech over the top of a GoPro video, and it's definitely cool. My understanding is that we're about to hit the month that they're hoping for it to be public released.
Are you getting one?
That's my plan. I would have liked it for the end of the last year and the 3 events I have coming up now, but potentially it might be around at some stage within those events, hopefully. So I'm just going to throw fucking insider information out there. Fuck you, Michael. That's what you get for being slow. So yeah, I think that's the next big news really is that. So
yeah, cool.
And yeah, so anything anybody wants us to cover, let us know. We can cover it. We can always go back and do another first drift event, basic drift event ideas and stuff like that. Happy to cover some more topics like that. And yeah, I might do a walk around video of my car at some stage and either put it on Clutch Kick or put it on my stuff. I'm not sure, or I'll share it on all of them. I couldn't really give a shit. I'm not going for straight
Marin,
numbers. So
pro drifter.
pro wanker.
Pro
So
wanker.
anything else? I'm happy to end it here, and we can talk some shit about everybody off air.
Oh yeah, we got lots of shit to talk about. I think.
Yeah.
Especially Blake.
Oh, here's my mechanic now, who's too slow at ordering my parts for my bloody Pathfinder that I was hoping to have done for the weekend, but we'll see what happens. All right,
Okay.
let's sign this shit off.
All right. Okay. Well, next week, probably next week.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Okay.
Depends what sort of stuff happens on the weekend.
Oh, this week. Oh no, definitely next week.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. I'll see you guys next time then.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
See ya.